Hey, what's up, guys? This is Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. It is currently 8:05 a.m. Let me straighten this camera up a little bit. It's currently 8:05 a.m. Wednesday, January the 7th, 2025th year of our Lord. It's a beautiful morning, man. Not a cloud in sight. It's not too cold, man. It's 53 degrees. It's very humid. Very humid. And it's going to be a good day, man. I've got, let's see how many I got on the list today. It's not a whole lot. Let's see. One of them called me and said they're done for the year. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Had 6, now I got 5. Got 5 on the list today, guys. Shouldn't take too long. I should be done around 1 or 2. 2 of the yards are fairly, well, 2 of the yards are fairly big. And one of them is a bear to work, man, because it's on a steep hill. I have to be extremely careful working in that yard. I don't hit nobody's car with the mower. But anyway, don't have a lot on the list today, man. Plan on getting that done around 1 or 2 o'clock today. And I'm gonna try as hard as I can to go by and measure some sod, man. I got a quote approved for the big bed upgrade. That's gonna be close to $4,000. I think it's $3,800 or $3,900. I can't remember exactly. I'd have to go back and look. But things are starting to look up, man. And it's gonna be a good day, man. It's a great day to be alive. Hey, I want to share a video with y'all. I tried to do this last night, but my phone died before I could finish the video, and then I charged my phone up, finished the video. Well, come to find out, my phone didn't save the first half of the video before my phone died. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do this video now. I actually wrote some things down the other day, some key takeaways and lessons learned in 2025 and that I'm gonna carry with me from here on. And so here's what they are, guys. Number 1, expect the unexpected. Okay, these are key takeaways from 2025. Top 5 lessons learned, and I've got a little bonus in there as well. Key takeaways for 2025. Number 1, expect the unexpected, man. I should have learned this at the end of 2024, but I didn't. I was hard-headed. We had a hurricane in September of 2024. I want to say it was the last 2 or 3 days in September, and it ended my season. You know, our season in this area doesn't typically end till around the 1st of December, sometime between Thanksgiving and the 1st of December. But you know, that little very small few days right there, that's when our season typically ends, because of the fact that Bermuda lawn doesn't go completely dormant until the first frost. Once that frost hits, it ain't but just a day or 2 later, bam, the grass is completely gray and you're done for the year, other than leaves and things like that. But our season doesn't typically end till between Thanksgiving and December. So I lost 2 months in that first year, man. And that really put a damper on things. But you would think that I would learn my lesson then. Nope, hard-headed me didn't learn. Figured, you know, that was just an anomaly, wasn't no big deal. Next year will be better. Well, I was right in a sense. You know, next year, this past year, 2025, my season didn't end early. Actually, my season was extended just a touch, but at the same time, I lost 4.5 weeks of revenue due to rain, and not to mention all the breakdowns I had and all the flat tires I had to replace and plug, and all the breakdowns I had. Everything that happened to me this past summer, nobody could have saw that coming. Nobody. And I prepare for things like that for a rainy day. I put money back. Luckily, I had enough put back to get us through the winter, and the winter's not over. And I'm still doing stuff, making revenue, but I did have enough put back. But it's close. It's very close. If something happens, I'm gonna pull my hair out. I'm gonna pull my hair out. And plus, I lost a lot of money, and it wasn't expected. So I have learned my lesson. The key takeaway from that is put more money back. Whatever you're putting back this last year, put back more, man, because you never know what's going to happen. And that's my key takeaway from that. Expect the unexpected, because anything could happen, man. You never know. Number 2, let it go. Man, some things you just can't control. There's no sense in getting stressed out about stuff that you can't control. If it's stuff that you can control, yeah, I can understand getting upset about that because you should have saw it coming. You know, I get all that. I'm the same way. But still, you got to let it go, man. Whether it's your fault or whether it's not, you just got to let it go. Especially the rain, man. You cannot control the rain. It's frustrating. It's stressful, especially when you deal with a summer like I had, and you had 4.5 weeks of rain, and you couldn't do anything because of it. That is extremely stressful. But there's no sense in getting yourself worked up, because this too shall pass. Just make sure you're putting money back, man. Bad customers, you know, you've got customers that are not understanding. You know, they think that you've got an outboard engine on your mower. They think you can come out there when it's a downpour, but ain't nothing you can do about it, man. So just let it go. And you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna lose money, man. Just get over it, get past it, move on to the next task. And it's, you know, it's like my good friend Buster Davis down at New Hope Cut said, man, this, you know, the grass is gonna be there, man, so don't worry about it, don't stress about it, just let it go. Number 3, stick to the plan. You should create a business plan, a business model when you first start your business. There's going to be times where you have to adjust that model, where you see things aren't working, or this may work but that may not work, so you may have to adjust things a little bit. It's going to take a year or 2, maybe 3 or 4, and it, you know, your business model is something that should never be set in stone. You know, you're going to always have to make adjustments to your business model, but it's going to be on your terms as you see what does work and what doesn't work. When you create a plan for your business, stick to that plan long enough to make sure that what you're doing is either going to work or not going to work, okay? Don't let, you know, I've got 2 examples for you. Just say you have a business, you know, a lawn care business like what I got, and you decide right off the bat that you're not going to be push mowing. Hey, man, I get that. I'm not push mowing either. If I ain't got to, I ain't push mowing nothing. There are certain circumstances where I need to have a push mower on the trailer because of tight spots, and it just makes more sense because it's quicker than using a weed eater. I get that. But if you're not going to push mow, and you decide you're not going to push mow, you need to stay with that plan, and don't let other people decide what you should and shouldn't be doing. And I say that because I had a customer one time that asked me if I had a quote, or asked me for a quote, gave him a quote, and after I gave him the quote, come over there to mow the property for the first time, and they said, whoa, I don't want you putting that big old machine on my property. And I said, well, how do you expect me to get it done? And they said, you don't push mow? I said, no, I don't push mow. I said, I've got too much stuff to do to be trying to push mow lawns. And he says, oh, so you don't like making money? People are going to say stuff like that to you, man. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it get to you. Just simply tell them, look, I don't push mow. I don't do this. I don't do that. But we do this. Stick to your business plan and keep it that way. People are gonna try to get you to do this. People are gonna try to get you to do that. And it may be a situation where you can do it, but you simply just don't want to do it because you don't like doing it. And hey, man, look, it's your business. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to do it. There's an old saying that says sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to. That's not the way in business, okay? If you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it. Simple as that, you know? Every customer is not your customer, and that's okay. And another example is when I bought my walker. That walker is a very expensive piece of machine, okay? It's a very, very expensive piece of equipment. It's a $21,000 piece of equipment, out the door after taxes, all that good stuff, okay? In my area, probably 90% of the lawns in my area are bagging lawns, okay? If you live in Evans, Georgia, or Martinez or Grovetown, and you're not bagging lawns, you're not gonna make money. Simple as that. I mean, there ain't no way around it. And we can argue about it till we're blue in the face. Hey, it is what it is, man. Every market, every area is different, okay? And another thing too, it's not a fact of I want to bag it or the customer wants it bagged. You know, a lot of times, probably half the customers that do get bagged, it's the customers that do want it bagged. But the other half is not the customers, it's the HOA forcing these residents to bag their lawn clippings because they don't know. They don't know anything about lawn care. So, yeah, a lot of lawns are getting bagged. But when I mentioned the idea of buying a walker, a lot of people thought I was crazy, tried to talk me out of it, this, that, and the other, saying, oh, it's bad for the grass. The machine gets too heavy when it's full of grass. You name it, I heard it. Well, this is the thing, guys. I know what's best for my business. Yeah, the piece of equipment was a lot of money, but I'm charging for it, okay? A lawn that I would typically make $70 to cut, I'm charging $90 because I have to bag it, I have to do something with those clippings, and it also costs me money to buy a special machine to do that. So I'm charging 20 extra bucks depending on the lawn size to bag your lawn. And now I made enough money this past year. I could have paid that if things didn't happen the way it did. I could have paid the walker off and still had the money that I spent on it left over. I made twice what I made on that walker. I made twice what I spent on that machine last year. So that's something to think about as well. And also, once this machine is paid off, that's extra money that I'm going to be profiting because I'm charging extra to bag the grass clippings. So just something to think about, guys. Don't let people steer you away from your plan. Don't, create a business model and stick to it. Nobody knows what's best for your business except for you, okay? That was number 3. So number 4 is believe in yourself, man. I learned this past year. I should have learned it the year before, but I learned it this past year when I had to, it was a hard decision to make when I had to let my employee go. But ultimately he forced my hand because some things happened that I couldn't just overlook, man. I had to do something about it, and it was causing me to lose customers. So at the time when I had my employee, I had a lot of clients. I did. And I didn't think I was going to be able to get everything done by myself. Well, couldn't find no help. Everybody already had jobs. By that point in the summer, anybody that was worth their salt had already had jobs. So I couldn't find no help, and I was forced to get out there and do things by myself. And I didn't think I could, but I got out there, rolled my sleeves up, put my hat on, pulled my hat down, and went to work and proved to myself that I could do it. So if you'd have told me 5 years ago that I would be out here mowing 15 lawns a day by myself, I would have told you you're crazy. I never in a million years would I have thought that something like that could happen with me. But I did it. I'm not saying I'm doing that every day, but a lot of days I'm mowing a lot of lawns. So believe in yourself, guys. Trust me, you can do a lot more than what you think you can do, man. You're capable of it. I promise you are. And another thing you've got to understand too, everything is given to us by the Lord, and the Lord ain't gonna give you nothing if he don't think you can handle it. Well, I'm sorry, if he doesn't know you can handle it. He doesn't think anything, he knows, okay? So he gave you a business. He gave you that business because he knows that you can handle it. So believe in yourself, guys. Give yourself a little more credit than what you're doing. That's number 4. Number 5, don't forget, man. I had to tell myself this towards the end of the summer last year, man. I had a very bad summer last year. I really did, man. I lost a lot of money. $21,000 is a lot of money, especially when you're making less than $200,000 a year. I'm not bitter about it no more, but it does suck because that's a lot of money lost, man. But at the same time, don't forget, I had to keep telling myself, don't forget why I started my business. I didn't start my business to come out here and make a boatload of money and get rich and all that good stuff. I was making plenty of money at my full-time job. I was making 6 figures at my full-time job. So it wasn't about the money, okay? I started my business because I wanted to have freedom. And if you're stressed out all the time and you're pissed off because this happened or that happened or so-and-so hasn't paid you or this employee screwed you over or it's raining, whatever it is, if you're pissed off about that all the time, that's creating stress. And when you're overloaded with stress like that, you're a slave, okay? And you no longer have a business, you have a job. So don't forget why you started your business. Me personally, I started my business to live the American dream. I wanted it to be where I could make my own paychecks, or I could write my own paychecks. I could do what I did and don't want to do, or I could do what I wanted to do, and if I didn't want to do something, I could just simply say no. I wanted to be able to make my own schedule, work when I wanted to, and knock off when I wanted to, and do the type of work that I want to do. And ultimately, give myself enough time to spend time with my family and hang out and be financially free. But if you're creating all this non-needed stress, you're not living the American dream, man. You're tied down with stress, and you have a job. You don't have a business. So, number 5, man, don't forget why you started your business, because I promise you, it could be a lot worse, man. You could be waking up at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and going to punch a time clock for somebody to make another man rich. So, don't forget that, guys. But that's the 5 key takeaways from 2025, and the bonus, number 6, or the little bonus is, have faith, man. Don't lose your faith, and I'm speaking specifically to all you Christian men and women out there. Don't lose your faith, man. Keep your faith. Me personally, I stepped out in faith. It probably would have been better for me, looking at the numbers and the situation and everything. It probably would have been better for me if I'd have waited one more year to leave my full-time job. But the Lord was telling me it was time to go. Okay, I can't explain it, and it's not for me to explain, and I don't understand everything, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do. So I did what I was told. I stepped out in faith, and so far the Lord has been good to me. He's provided. He hasn't made me rich yet. I'm not saying he ever will, and I'm not saying he won't. But whatever's going to happen is going to happen. It's all in his hands. I can't control it, okay? But he told me to step out in faith, and so far he has provided for me. My family has not wanted or needed for anything. And my business has stayed above water these past 2 seasons, believe it or not. And this is coming from a guy that knew nothing about business when I started my business, learning on the fly, and I'm still learning. So, a little story from the Bible, man. When Jesus, when the disciples were in the boat going across the water, and the sea was raging, and they looked out and saw Jesus walking on the water. Peter was the first one to look out and see him. They were all terrified, thought it was a ghost. Come to find out it was Jesus. Jesus looked Peter in the eyes and told him to come to him. And when Peter first stepped out of that boat, he was walking on water. But just as soon as he took his eyes off of Jesus, guess what happened? He started to sink. Jesus had to come over there and put his hand down in the water and pull him back up. So keep your eyes on the Lord, guys. You keep your eyes on God. You focus on things above, and everything else will be added to it, okay? Don't lose your faith, man. The Lord put you out here. He told you to step out. He told you to start your business. He did it for a reason. He knows what's best for you. Is he going to make you rich? I don't know. That's not my decision to make. But he's definitely going to provide for you, okay? He didn't lead you out to the desert just to abandon you. You may be going through a lot right now. You may be struggling financially. You may be struggling. Your business may be struggling, having all sorts of breakdowns and things like that. You may be struggling with the weather, not being able to work. You may be struggling at home, man. You may have problems within your house. But in the end, it's all going to work out. God knows what he's doing, okay? But that is the main things. That is the top 5, plus the bonus from 2025 that I learned. I hope you got something out of this, man. If you did, hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. And share it with somebody else, man. You never know. There's a lot of people going through a lot of different things out there, man. And some people may need to see this. People struggling in business, struggling in life in general, But I hope you guys got something out of it. If you didn't, that's fine too, man. Just let me know in the comments down below what you do and don't agree with. But look, man. It's 8:25. I've been on this phone long enough. I got to go get some drinks and get me a biscuit. And I got to get on the road, man. I got to get this maintenance done. That way I can get these big jobs knocked out before the end of the month is here. But hey, y'all be blessed out there. To the next video, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. Holler at y'all. Bye.